right, we're here with Long Beach State beach volleyball coach Mike Campbell. Up until this point, your team has been surprisingly one of the better teams in the U.S. What's been happening with Long Beach State beach volleyball?
Yeah, no, we have a great group this year. We got 7 seniors, which has been amazing. You know, all with 4 years of experience playing beach. So it's a really good culture we have. These kids are pushing each other every day in practice, so that that grittiness that we've always promoted as a program has finally kind of exposed itself with these kids. You know, they're really an example of that grittiness, that fight. You know, every duel is against these top teams is always close. We're just a couple points here and there from taking these duels. So I know, it's translating to them. They're really understanding what we want from them, what we want to showcase as a program, as a team, and so I think the difference this year has really been that group of 7 seniors. They're spread all across my lineup, so I have them playing even down. Janelle's at the 5s, and they've been amazing. Picked up that win today in the duel against UCLA, and so it's really nice to have them pairing with some of our younger kids that don't have as much experience,
right,
and keeping them confident, mentally stable, and it's showing in our play, obviously.
Well, it just from the beginning of the season doesn't seem like you've been mixing up your lineup too much because they've gelled really quickly.
Yeah, and that's something we are ready. We have a plan should we need to, but like you said, they're gelling really well. The kids are really having a good time playing with each other, which always makes it easier to coach them. And so they've been really at a good place in terms of partnership. So yeah, we haven't needed to change much. I have a couple alternates that are able to give some of our starters a break should they need to for whatever injury reasons. But yeah, the 10 we went with today against UCLA have been pretty standard against the top competition.
Right. Well, now you've got some, I call them quality losses, because it seems like your team is learning against the best teams in the nation, and they're adapting well.
Yeah, Florida State, we lost 4-1 with two of those losses in the duel going 3, and one of them 15-13. So that match could have gone either way. The Pepperdine we lost here on our home court 15-12. You guys were here for that. And then this one today, you've got our ones I don't think played very well. I think that was probably their worst, not one of their better matches, let's put it that way. And then our 3s are still kind of sorting out some stuff. But yeah, we are real close. That's the good news. The bad news is losing in the interim is no fun.
Well, today you had to deal with some extra elements, and
sure,
let's just say the wind was pretty bad. Talk about how you're coaching your 1s and 2s, because it got ugly there for a little bit.
Yeah, this morning we started, the 2s it was smooth, not much wind, we were pretty comfortable, we get this normal headwind, and as you can tell right now, it's gusting. So it obviously picked up in the afternoons. It has kind of been like that. So we've got some experience. We've been going down to Belmont Shore Beach, practicing there a little bit. So we are, we're pretty comfortable in the wind. I think it just kind of the serving. Obviously, our 1s hadn't seen 2 jump servers that were that good at placing the ball, and that pair's playing really, really solid volleyball, and they just got taken out of their game. Just from a serving standpoint, they were out of system a lot. We were working a lot of off the net to on the net. It just didn't look like they were ever comfortable. The 2s actually did an amazing job, I thought, today in terms of controlling, passing where they wanted, in terms of what we needed to do with the wind, setting from where we wanted to, getting the right angles, and their approach lanes were really, really good, and they were able to make that pretty physical team in UCLA, the 2s.
Right.
They made them move and made them work, so it looked really good from that standpoint. Obviously, the 1s had a much tougher matchup, but we tried.
Well, you mentioned that you have seniors deep in your pairs going on here. What's it look like for Long Beach State? Because this is kind of like the midpoint of the season. Conference hasn't started.
Yeah.
You still have some pretty big matchups coming up.
Yeah.
What's the coaching mentality now for your team?
Yeah, I think we have to keep learning. These losses are no fun. We have that bitter taste in our mouth right now, walking away from the courts. But the goal is tomorrow come back hungry to learn. We've got to make that jump to the next level. We have to get a little bit more mentally stable when we get that resistance from some of the top teams that we don't see in some of our Big West teams. Obviously Hawaii, we haven't seen them yet this year, but we have to maintain that mental capacity to be able to handle some of these elements, some of this pressure we're getting from other teams, and still perform at the level we should be. So we'll see. We have a big conference tournament this weekend down at Huntington, so we're going to get to play for the 6 teams, us being one of them. So we'll get to play 4 of those teams, and it'll be a really good kind of gauge where we're at, kind of being halfway through the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, definitely, Rob. Thanks.
Excellent time here at Long Beach. Thanks for hosting FloVolleyball.